Have you heard names like Mounjaro, Ozempic, and Wegovy popping up more and more in conversations about weight loss? These aren't just words trending on social media. They're at the center of a medical revolution that's changing the way people think about body weight, health, and even self-image, especially in the United States. For many, these medications have gone from obscure treatments for type 2 diabetes to the talk of Hollywood parties and Silicon Valley boardrooms. Executives, celebrities, influencers, everyone seems to have an opinion or a story about these weekly injections and the staggering transformations they promise. But behind the hype and headlines, there's a world of nuance, biology, and emerging science that's crucial for anyone curious, cautious, or considering these new solutions. What really sets these medications apart? If you assume they all work the same magic, think again. The landscape of modern obesity and diabetes treatment is shifting rapidly, and the differences are more than just skin deep. They're embedded in how each of these drugs actually interacts with the human body. To really understand what's happening, let's delve into what makes Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro both similar and distinct, explore what experts are saying, and unravel the bigger story of a healthcare evolution that's only just beginning. To start, all three medications, Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro, share one big thing in common. They're injectable drugs administered weekly, designed originally for metabolic regulation in type 2 diabetes. That meant, for years, very little public excitement or buzz. Yet as more patients started reporting not just stabilized blood sugar levels, but also dramatic weight loss, the story changed. Seemingly overnight, these treatments shifted from the clinical realm of endocrinology to the glossy headlines of weight loss miracles and celebrity endorsements. Ozempic, whose scientific name is semaglutide, was originally created and approved as a treatment for managing type 2 diabetes. It works specifically as an agonist of a hormone receptor in the body called GLP-1, glucagon-like peptide 1. GLP-1 is a key player in regulating blood sugar, communicating with the pancreas to release insulin when needed, and signaling to the brain that you're full after eating. Patients using Ozempic often notice a profound decrease in appetite along with steadier blood sugar levels, and as a result, many lose weight as a side effect, even though weight loss was never the drug's initial focus. Enter Wegovy. In simplest terms, Wegovy is also semaglutide, the very same molecule as Ozempic, but it's prescribed and approved at higher doses specifically for weight management. That means people with or without diabetes can access Wegovy if they meet certain clinical criteria for obesity or excess weight. The higher dose doesn't just slightly improve appetite control, it supercharges it, leading to substantially greater average weight loss in studies. For people frustrated by the world of fad diets and fleeting promises, Wegovy quickly became a beacon of something different, science-backed, prescription-based, and with results that, for many, felt truly life-changing. But the story doesn't stop there. In recent years, a new contender has put itself in the spotlight: Mounjaro, with its active ingredient, tirzepatide. Mounjaro is described as a next-generation therapy, not only because of its impressive trial results, but because of how it works on the body's chemistry. While both Ozempic and Wegovy target the GLP-1 pathway, Mounjaro goes a step further. It's a dual agonist, engaging both GLP-1 and another receptor called GIP, or glucose-dependent insulinotropic polypeptide. Why does this matter? The combination of GLP-1 and GIP actions means powerful appetite suppression, yes, but also a more direct effect on fat storage, usage of glucose, and overall metabolic health. Clinical trials have shown that Mounjaro's dual action can lead to even more pronounced weight loss compared to semaglutide. So, how do all these scientific differences play out in real lives and real bodies? According to the endocrinologist Dr. Renata Lacerda, the mechanics matter a lot. The main difference, she explains, is in the mechanism of action. While semaglutide acts on a single receptor, tirzepatide with Mounjaro acts on two, potentially explaining its superior efficacy in weight loss for some patients. This isn't just a medical distinction, it's a real-world advantage for those who've struggled with traditional weight loss methods. But while the promise is immense, it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. As pharmacologist Dr. Henrique Amaral points out, it's not just about losing weight. Every patient is different, and understanding the action profiles of these medications is crucial to avoiding side effects like nausea, constipation, and even rare but serious risks such as pancreatitis. The excitement around these drugs is justified, but it comes with responsibility and the need for personalized medical guidance. To make sense of the overwhelming buzz, consider the numbers. In clinical trials, Wegovy users lost an average of 15% of their body weight, while results for Mounjaro have shown even greater reductions in some studies, sometimes exceeding 20% of total body weight. By contrast, most diet and exercise interventions rarely exceed 5 to 10% weight loss over a year. For people with obesity, a condition increasingly recognized as a complex disorder rooted in genetics, metabolism, and environment, rather than just willpower, these figures are more than impressive. They're transformative. Yet, despite the impressive data, there are lingering questions and controversies. Do these drugs represent a true, sustainable solution for obesity? Or are we only scratching the surface of what they might mean for long-term health? After all, these medications don't rewire the foundations of metabolic dysfunction or guarantee immunity from weight regain if treatment stops. There are also concerns about how quickly they've entered the mainstream, with off-label use, supply shortages, and debates about access and affordability. Behind the science is a sea of human stories. For every person who finds a new lease on life, there's another who grapples with side effects, insurance hurdles, or unanswered questions. Some celebrate newfound confidence and mobility, while others worry about becoming reliant on a prescription for years, even decades. There's also an unavoidable social component. The widespread use of injectable medications for weight management is reshaping cultural narratives about body image, self-control, and even what it means to be healthy. For some, these drugs embody empowerment and new hope for individuals who have struggled with excess weight for most of their lives due to factors far beyond diet and exercise. For others, they provoke anxiety and skepticism about over-medicalization and the commercialization of wellness. As we look deeper, it's important to recognize the broader context. Obesity is not simply a lifestyle issue. It's a public health crisis linked to heart disease, cancer, and a cascade of other serious conditions. The way we understand, talk about, and treat obesity is evolving, and drugs like Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro are at the center of that evolution. They are tools, powerful ones, but not silver bullets. Lifestyle still plays a crucial role. Diet, activity, stress, and sleep profoundly affect metabolic health, factors that medications can't replace. Most medical professionals agree. These drugs work best as part of a comprehensive approach that includes behavior changes, nutritional guidance, and ongoing support. For those considering these medications, a conversation with a trusted doctor is not just recommended, it's essential. Education is, perhaps, the single most potent ingredient for success. Understanding the differences between each medication does more than satisfy curiosity. It empowers people to make choices that are aligned with their needs and risks. Some individuals may respond better to the single pathway action of semaglutide, experiencing manageable side effects and sustainable results. Others may find the dual action of tirzepatide more effective, despite a potentially increased risk of certain adverse reactions. Side effects are real and must be weighed with care. Common experiences can include nausea, gastrointestinal discomfort, constipation, and less frequently, more serious concerns like pancreatitis or gallbladder issues. These risks are not unique to these drugs, but they reinforce the need for oversight and adjustment as part of any long-term treatment plan. There's also the consideration of psychological impact. The emotional burden of obesity, the societal pressure to lose weight, and the transformative journey that many patients undertake can all combine to make this process fraught with complexity. For some, the rapid physical changes can bring their own set of mental health challenges, from adjusting self-image to managing the attention and sometimes judgment, of others. The future is rich with possibilities. Researchers are exploring even newer classes of medications, further refining the understanding of metabolic pathways and developing ever more personalized approaches to weight management. Gene-based therapies, combination treatments, and more nuanced lifestyle interventions may be just around the corner, but the revolution we're witnessing now is significant. For those millions of people for whom traditional methods have failed or proven insufficient, the arrival of these medications marks a shift from blame and frustration to a medical framework focused on support, understanding, and tangible solutions. Looking at the big picture, it's clear that Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro are more than passing weight loss trends. They represent a new chapter in medicine, one rooted in decades of research and a growing appreciation for the complexity of metabolic health. For patients, it's not just about numbers lost on a scale, but about regaining a sense of agency and improved health. Still, it's crucial not to be swept up by the marketing or sensational headlines. No medication is without risk, and no one-size-fits-all solution exists for the tangled challenge of weight loss and metabolic health. Informed decisions, guided by medical expertise and ongoing monitoring, are the true keys to making these innovations work for the individuals they're meant to help. So, what happens next? Will one of these drugs unlock the final door to solving obesity on a global scale? It's too early to know for sure. What is certain is that the conversation has shifted. Weight management is no longer the exclusive domain of calorie deficits and willpower alone. It's now a medical frontier where biology, psychology, and society intersect. This evolving field is a reminder of how far we've come in understanding the human body and the factors that govern health. The fact that weekly injections can tip the scales, quite literally, for so many speaks not just to pharmaceutical innovation, but to a deeper ongoing quest to unravel the mysteries of metabolism, challenge stigma, and offer hope to those who need it most. For anyone considering Ozempic, Wegovy, or Mounjaro, the most valuable asset is knowledge. From the molecular mechanisms to the lived experiences, from clinical trial data to real-world stories, the more informed you are, the better your choices and outcomes. Perhaps the next frontier in obesity will be even more personalized. Tailored combinations of treatments, lifestyle interventions, and digital health tools all working together. Or perhaps entirely new molecules will eclipse today's heroes, offering even greater efficacy with fewer side effects. The pace of innovation is only accelerating. Until then, Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro will remain at the leading edge of a medical transformation. They invite not only hope, but also critical thinking, a reminder that the best health decisions are always grounded in evidence, empathy, and a willingness to see the bigger picture. So, whether you're someone considering these treatments, a loved one supporting another's journey, or simply a curious thinker following the latest in medical science, remember, real progress is rarely the result of any single breakthrough. It comes from layers of discovery, informed dialogue, and compassionate care. As the world continues to debate, study, and celebrate the potential of these medications, one truth stands out. The next innovation may be closer than we expect. But in the meantime, awareness, education, and thoughtful choices will be the foundation of real, lasting change. In the end, what matters most is not the name on a prescription label, but the informed, empowered individual who holds it. Someone ready to navigate the options, embrace the possibilities, and take each step with the guidance of science and the support of their healthcare team. The journey to better health is singular, complex, and ongoing. And with each new tool, information remains your greatest ally in making it a successful one.